I believe that conversations around a community meal table can change the world. When a group of Chicagoans began asking how they could help the city's most vulnerable, they invited a bunch of people to come have lunch. Not just homeless people, but people from all walks of life who live and work in Chicago's Lincoln Park neighborhood. From social workers, we learned that the three leading causes of homelessness are lack of affordable housing, poor access to job skills and education, and difficulty achieving sober mental and physical welfare. From homeless people, we learned that there are programs in the city that address each of those three issues, but that the first introduction to them often involves providing some form of identification, which is scary to an individual who might have a spotty criminal record, unclear immigration status, or who might be suffering from delusions or paranoia that surface in even the most healthy people when they've been homeless for just a few weeks. From our neighbors, we learned that many would like to help the less fortunate, but they get anxious when large groups of them congregate in the alleys behind their houses. We learned that there was literally nowhere on the north side of Chicago to get a hot lunch on a Thursday afternoon. From local businesses, we learned that there's an abundance of resources in the form of shoes, food, coats, socks, and medical supplies that go unused without an efficient distribution system to get them to the people who need them the most. As a result of these conversations, we designed a collection of programs that revolve around a community meal that's open to anyone without asking for identification. Chicago's most vulnerable are invited into the community and break bread together with people who happen to work in the areas of affordable housing, sober living, mental and physical welfare, or job skills and education. Over time, these shared meals turn into a trusted relationship that allow our homeless guests to transfer into more structured programs that will produce long-range results. We've developed a community code of conduct, which governs interactions in the blocks around the building where our meals are served, and community members walk the neighborhood before, during, and after meal service to serve as an ambassador to any passerby who might feel uncomfortable with something they see or hear. Today, our affordable housing partner reports that 50% of the people they've found a permanent home for were guests that they first met at one of these community meals. Our job skills and education partner reports that graduates of their program earn an average wage of $12.34 an hour for 38 hours of work a week. And our medical partners report that over 50% of the guests have now found a permanent medical home. What's even more exciting is when we check back with these folks just a year later, they overwhelmingly remain housed, employed, and healthy. One of my favorite examples is a guest who's now been sober for over 10 years, has a full-time job with benefits, and who's now living with a neighbor who had previously been described as having a prickly personality. Soon, we'll be celebrating more than 50 years of convening these community meals in Lincoln Park. But when I think about what's been achieved, I don't tend to measure success by the thousands of hot meals that have been served. Instead, I'm amazed by the relationships that have been established between all members of our community. Wealthy homeowners, homeless individuals, restaurateurs, grocers, business people, doctors, nurses, students, and just plain folks. Because it's these relationships that have built the connections that create sustainable, long-lasting change to the lives of Chicago's most vulnerable and help us to solve the problems of an increasingly broken world.